Welcome to Splatter News' Agony Aunt. Firstly, I'd like to apologise to my viewers because I've been sick with the flu. That's why there's been a big gap between videos. So, for all of you who actually sent an email asking when's the next video, I'm very, very sorry, and I hope not to get the flu again this year. So, now we've cleared that out of the way, made my apologies, made my amends, I'll start with our first email today. Is from a girl called Bex, and she writes, I'm almost 18, started dating a guy who is almost 21. He'd never had a girlfriend before, but I've had, boyfriends. But I'm his first. Probably, it was a bit of an issue to begin with. And then she says the problem though is that he won't tell me how he feels about me, and I feel a bit messed about by him, she says, with whether he'll see her or get together for a date. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And she says, what should I do? She says, I think he has issues. I went to his house where he lives with his father. There was no pictures of his mum, and she doesn't live there. She says, I'm ready for a relationship, a proper relationship. And I don't know if I should continue with this. And I don't know if he has issues, being that he's almost 21 and he's never had a girlfriend before, and she was concerned about the fact that he never spoke about his mother and very absent in his life. Right. The first thing that I want to address here, Bex, is that if you kind of get messed around by a guy, and you know it and you feel it, he's not ready for a relationship. He's either putting you on the back burner and you're not quite what he's wanting, which is not fair to you, or he's got issues and he's not ready. And if you're ready, it's not going to work, because that's not going to be the relationship you want. It's not fair to you. You shouldn't invest emotionally in this person because he's not showing you the signs that he's the one that wants to have a relationship and is capable of it. Now, if he has issues with perhaps a mother that may have abandoned in some way, maybe she died, maybe she divorced his father and up and left, whatever the issues are, you're not his therapist. That's something he has to work out with a counsellor, a trained professional, and he should be doing that before he has a relationship with someone. That's not something that you can work out with him. And if you think, you're probably saying to yourself, well, maybe I can heal him and all of that stuff. No, I'm telling you now, run. Don't get into that. And if you continue dating people that have issues and you don't have issues, you'll eventually have issues. So when the right person comes along that is ready to have the sort of relationship that you want, you're not going to be then ready because you've had a series of courtships with, guys, dating guys that weren't ready and messed you about. So do yourself a big favor, put yourself first here, and just say to the guy, this is not what I want, I'm ready for something else and you're not. I wish you all the best, no hard feelings, and move on. That's the best advice I can give you, love. And, I hope that you don't get yourself stuck into this and get yourself hurt. So, best of luck, Bex. And our second email is from Laura. And again, I need to apologise because this one has been sitting in my emails for a few days, so I'm very, very sorry, Laura, but I'm dealing with it now. She says, I've been dating a man for over 7 months now. Thought he was the one for me, that I had found my soulmate finally. I was divorced for almost 3 years before I met him, and in a very good place. Didn't need a relationship. My head is spinning and I feel sick as I write this email. He just dumped me. I can't get my head around it. I thought the relationship was going well, then he called me and said it wasn't going anywhere, and finished it. I knew he'd just come out of a very difficult relationship when I met him, and his ex had caused him a lot of issues. He did mention a few days before he ended it that he thought he needed counselling, that his ex was still messing with his head. I've been in a terrible state because there was no signs of him pulling away. I need closure because I'm in shock. Should I message him? Should I tell him how I feel and how it has affected me? Or should I just ask him how he is and if he needs a friend and would like to talk, to call me? What do? I can't process this. Help. Well, Laura, I really feel for you. Firstly, I've been through this. I've had a very similar experience. I've known male and female friends of mine who've had this same sort of experience, and it is a shock, mind and body kind of shock. You know, you just can't process it because you didn't have the information. You know, it wasn't a slow death. Those are always the best, is a slow death. So you see it coming and you're preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for it. This is one of those, you know, big shocks that your body even has a reaction to, and it's not just the crying, it's the, you know, like the shaking and the can't breathe and feeling sick and all of that. But what you're saying is you want your closure. Now, I think it's a good idea for you to message him, but if you're going to do it, in order for you to have closure, there's a saying I have that I say to all my friends, male and female. I say what you need to say. And it's from that song by John Mayer. And he says, you know, you have to put your heart out there, and you, no matter what your fears are of, you know, how they'll react, if you don't say everything you need to say in that message that you send to him, you won't be at peace. It will rattle at you, it'll haunt you, it'll come back at you. Because if you send like half of the message, just saying, oh, how are you? And, you know, I'd like to be your friend, could we talk? And it just blanks you, or it goes, no. Then you're thinking, well, I can't send another one now saying all what I need to say, because then I'm getting into stalker ground. And then you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't say what you needed to say. So you probably won't get closure from him, but you get closure from yourself by saying what needs to be said. So if you're going to send that message, and I hope you haven't done it yet because I'm really sorry I didn't get to these emails for a few days, please say everything you need to say and reread it carefully and sit back and think, is that everything I needed to say? And I don't know what you need to say to him. I can't tell you what you need to say. All I can say is that you have to say everything you're feeling, so that once you send that message out, whether you get a negative response or no response, your closure is going to start. It starts with that. Because a lot of times in relationships, when they end, people don't get closure from the other person. They get it through themselves, and it's by doing what you're going to do, by saying all that you need to say and leaving it there so you can rest. And I know it's going to be haunting you, and if you've already sent a different message, you're going to be going, oh my god, you know, I didn't say what I need to say. Well, then give it a couple of days. Write the right message out that says all that needs to be said, so that you do have closure and you can finally come to terms with this. Now, also, you mentioned that he did say to you a few days before he broke up that he thought he needed counselling. And what I need to say to you is that if someone's in that state, then they're not in a relationship with you. They can't possibly be in a proper relationship with you, and it wasn't your fault. You didn't see it. So don't kick yourself over it. But know that if someone is not capable of being in a relationship with someone new because they're mentally being tortured by another relationship, they're not supposed to have a relationship. And there was nothing you could have done. It wasn't your place to heal him. We can't play counsellors with our partners. That is for a professional person to do. And it's hard because many times people think when they get into a relationship and the person has said, I'm a little bit damaged, I've been going through a really rough time, or whatever has happened to them in the past that's still haunting them, we think we can heal them. We can't heal them. A counsellor can help them heal. They have to do the work to heal themselves. And a famous psychiatrist used to say, his name was Scott Peck, that even a therapist, all they do is offer a safe place for a person to heal who's willing to do the work to heal. But it's not for the partner to do. If you're in an intimate relationship with someone, it's not your place to heal him. So you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't realize that he was too damaged and still not out of that relationship. Because if he says that, you know, his ex is still messaging him and it's doing his head in, he's not out of that relationship. He's still in that relationship with her. So while you were bonding with him and falling in love with this man, he wasn't having the same experience because he couldn't, and that's not your fault. And he probably was not conscious of what he was doing. He entered into a rebound relationship with you completely unconscious of what he was doing to you and even to himself, and it might have been helping him at the time. He might have thought that, but the end outcome, which we have now, was inevitable, unfortunately. And I know that doesn't console you, but maybe it's helping you process by hearing this from someone who's completely on the outside, and all I've got is this email. The few things you've said has given me so much information, and I'm hoping that you're reflecting on the things he told you about the past relationship and the traumas he experienced in it, and the fact that he felt he needed counselling. And I hope you start to see that this was someone who may have been a lovely man, and that's why you had a wonderful experience with him, but he wasn't actually capable of having a relationship with anyone. So right now I want you to take care of you and process a lot of this stuff. And if you need to see someone, to talk to someone, you do that, because you deserve to process this and come out of it, and you deserve to, one day love again with someone who's not damaged and needing counselling. I wish that for everyone, for when people are healed, that they can move forward. And I hope he can too one day. I don't wish him any bad feelings, but from what you've said in this email, he's obviously, he was in a bad place and he didn't even realise how it was affecting himself or you. So, as I said before, say what you need to say so you can have your peace. And I wish you all the best, Laura. My heart goes out to you. And that's the end of this Agony Aunt for splatternews.com. And we'll be back in a few days to catch up for the fact that I was ill with the flu. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye.